We're back, guys. You're listening to the What's Up radio show. I am Nadia Phillips. Unfortunately, my co-host Cece Joe is not here, but she's having a good time. She's on vacation. She's getting some rest, and she'll be back with us in about 2 weeks' time. But I do have my boy Ken Pyle in the studio, and Stokely's here. You know Stokely's always here. Next topic that I want to get into is Steve Harvey. Boys, I want to talk about Steve.
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
Yeah. Steve is going through a lot right now.
A lot.
Okay, so let me start off with this goodhousekeeping.com article about the alleged marital problems that Steve is going through right now. I don't know if you guys have been following, because I kind of like Steve. I watch his shows.
Oh, I love Steve. I love Steve.
I watch his shows. If you're a fan of the Family Feud or Celebrity Family Feud, you got to know Steve. So Steve Harvey and his wife may soon be facing big problems from Marjorie's past. That's actually Steve's wife's name.
Right, his current wife.
So that we're all clear. With her ex-husband. So Steve Harvey and his wife Marjorie might have to cope with a new book from Jim L. Townsend. Jim was previously married to Marjorie and was sentenced to life imprisonment over cocaine-related charges. And Jim told Radar that he's planning on dishing about their marriage and run-ins with the law.
Right.
Steve and Marjorie may soon have to deal with an ex from the past, particularly Marjorie's ex-husband and convicted drug lord Jim L. Townsend. According to several reports, which all link back to RadarOnline.com, Jim has written a tell-all memoir about his marriage to Marjorie in the 1990s. Even though he was allegedly hesitant at first, he now has apparently decided that he has no allegiance to Marjorie. I wrote 2/3 of the book in prison. Why did I read that part like that? I don't even know. I just feel like that's how he would say. I wrote 2/3 of the books in prison, he allegedly told the outlet. I'm going to tell my story. It don't matter if she knows about it or not. Marjorie was reportedly under FBI and DEA investigation during her marriage to Jim, who investigators have labeled a drug kingpin. Radar reported in 2007 that the two agencies suspected Marjorie played a role in the drug ring, though Marjorie was never charged with a crime. Jim, however, was eventually discovered after an undercover sting operation took place and was given life imprisonment in 1992 for conspiracy to possess with the intent to distribute cocaine. Of course, it's important to note that it appears that Jim has exclusively spoken to Radar about this said memoir. In other words, it's not set in stone that the book will actually come to fruition. As for Steve and Marjorie, they don't seem fazed about the reports of Jim's supposed memoir at all. If anything, they appear irritated at recent rumors alleging that Steve was selling his Texas properties while gearing up for a divorce battle. So the two addressed these claims in a hilarious Instagram video last week. You guys can go on Marjorie's Instagram page to see the video of them addressing it. It's pretty funny. But no, guys, they are not divorcing. So you can take that rumor off of the board. Take it off. But guess what you could put on the board? Because that's not all. A lot is going on with Steve, like I told you. It seems like Steve Harvey's talk show has been canceled.
Not has been. It got canceled. But just to be clear, Little Big Shot, he's actually one of the executive producers and co-founder of it.
That's where the contention comes in as I was doing my research. Now, Steve Harvey's daytime talk show, Steve, has been canceled after 2 seasons. The syndicated daytime program taped its final episode on May 9th. And you can look up for that one because mega church pastor T.D. Jakes is going to be on that final episode. Why are you laughing? People actually like T.D. Jakes.
No, I'm laughing at how you said it like...
I know, I'm just
joking. This is shit.
New episodes of Steve are scheduled through June, and the show will continue to air on NBC stations through September. While the news will be a disappointment to fans on the morning TV fixture like me, it's not exactly unexpected. Now, here's why. Apparently, The future for Steve has looked grim since September. That's when NBC announced it was planning a new daytime talk show that is going to be hosted by Kelly Clarkson. The Kelly Clarkson show will take over Steve's time slot when it premieres on September 9th, 2019, this year. Harvey was apparently a little miffed about losing his daytime TV spot to Clarkson. When someone at the Variety Entertainment Summit at CES asked about whether he'd stay with the network, he said he wasn't too sure. Steve said, "I thought I was until they made an announcement a couple weeks ago that they wanted to give Kelly Clarkson the owned and operated NBC networks. And that's my slot. I thought it would have been nice of them to come to me as the only dude who survived in daytime TV for 7 years." Steve's ratings were solid because his ratings rivaled shows like Dr. Phil, Ellen DeGeneres Show, Kelly and Ryan and Maury. So they wanted to know, why was the show being canceled? Well, the show demise stems from the fact that it's not owned by NBC Universal.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's aired by NBC. But while his previous talk show, The Steve Harvey Show, was co-produced by NBC, when its 5-year run had ended, Harvey opted to strike a deal with IMG Original Content. They gave him greater ownership of the program, and they cut NBC out. Yeah.
So, all right, go ahead.
I think I'm going to answer the question you want to ask. NBC continued to distribute Steve and kept airing it in the same time slot as its predecessor. But according to Variety, it's no surprise that the media giant wants to develop its own show. So after NBC announced it was planning the Kelly Clarkson show, IMG started looking for new stations to air Steve. But apparently, they didn't find any takers. However, Steve is reportedly working on creating a digital platform.
Right.
So he's staying busy because although that show may be coming to an end, he's still the host of Family Feud, a gig that he's had since 2010.
Over a decade.
Yep. And he's still going to be the celebrity Family Feud host as well. He's hosted the Miss Universe pageant since 2015. And that doesn't seem to be going anywhere either, that gig. We'll have to wait and see. That may change.
No,
you never know.
No, that's not going to change because he's still on the contract, actually.
Good. So he still has that. And then the Steve Harvey Morning Show, that's a radio show that's syndicated as well. You're still going to hear him on that as well. But he also did go on to lose yet again another gig.
Which one?
Oh, Melissa McCarthy replaces Steve Harvey as host of Little Big Shots. Have you guys ever seen that show? It's a show with these kids that are just amazing at things. And they have a chance on this platform.
Oh, I love it.
To show how amazing they are. And I quite like Steve for that show as well. But he is going to be gone from there as well. Because that's an NBC show too. So Melissa McCarthy has been named host of NBC's unscripted series Little Big Shots, replacing Steve Harvey as MC of the talent competition for kids. Harvey hosted the previous 3 seasons of the show, which hails from Warner Horizon Television and Ellen DeGeneres, a very good production banner. Little Big Shots last aired on NBC in July 2018, and the NBC executive said the show was in for a brand refresh as McCarthy takes over. Little Big Shots is scheduled to return to NBC Sunday at 8 p.m. So it seems like Steve is losing all of his jobs that are connected to the NBC company network, and I want to know what he do.
Okay, so let me rewind
I feel
a
he
bit.
Do something to piss off
let me start
NBC.
from the bottom of the ladder and then climb up.
Right.
So let me go back to the first topic when you covered the I guess the alleged marriage with a kingpin.
Right. The marital stress.
Right.
Right.
So interesting enough, after doing my research, that was her first marriage to a kingpin. She was actually married again to another kingpin.
What? So
that-
Marjorie is known for having these type of relationships, it seems.
I guess she has a thing for bad boys, so I don't know. But all of this here, right, has me pondering if this has something to do with the cancellation of the shows on NBC, because sometimes when these things get out, networks don't really want to be associated with that type of drama, because that that will cause a lot of corporate challenges.
You may be onto something there.
All right.
You may be onto something there.
Right. In terms of, all right, let me move forward a bit now. In terms of the two shows, let me do the television show.
The Little Big Shots.
No, the other one, Steve. Right. My thing is, I am not certain about Kelly Clarkson's personality. Like, what you know her well, Stoley, like her personality.
I know as a singer, and
yeah, I know as a singer, but as a personality, I mean,
she was on American Idol. Like that was the show that she bust off of,
Yeah.
right? American Idol. That was like what, the first installation or the second installation?
I think second.
That's easily over a decade ago.
And you see Daytime TV, that means some big shoes to fill. I mean, that's a serious time slot right there. And Steve had that lockdown pretty good, because he's a comedian and
Yes.
everybody wants to laugh, and he know how to keep people engaged,
Yes.
and advertisers love him a lot too. Right? So I don't know if Kelly Clarkson can drive that type of retention with audience.
Yeah, I'm interested now to just go and research her, check her IG. Because as you said, I don't know what her personality is like.
It's
I don't
like,
know
because that's what it really comes back
how
down
to
to.
feel her out. I don't know
Right.
if she could take on this role. Probably she could. Probably.
All right.
I think that these corporations, these big networks would have done their research as well too.
Right.
I don't think that they're gonna risk a big important primetime slot like that. They're
Right.
not gonna risk losing all their ratings. And probably put someone that's not out for the job. So we're gonna give Kelly a try.
A try.
And just see how she handles herself.
I don't know, but I guess we're gonna see.
Let's give Kelly a month. We've
So-
never heard.
So moving forward now to Little Big Shots.
Right.
Now, I just say he's no longer going to be the host of that show, but he's still the executive producer and co-founder of it. So technically, he's still winning regardless. He just ain't got out that hosting money.
Right.
So-
But it's still,
So
outsiders looking in, seeing him being dropped from everything NBC related.
Right.
It looking kind of.
But here's the thing. No, you mentioned IMG. That's the name of the network.
Yeah.
Right. So apparently he asked NBC, if I'm correct, alleged that he asked NBC for more money.
Right.
It was also mentioned that the salary that Steve was receiving for this show was actually higher than what NBC was being paid to host it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
some people
So maybe a case of outshining the master type of thing, like
it pretty much
Steve
seems
being
that way,
bigger
yeah.
than network on a whole.
Yeah, but I mean, I think in Steve's right, he can demand it because a lot of advertising revenue was coming NBC's way because of that show. So I mean, it's like this revenue is coming in. Listen, let me ask for more. It could be a situation too where a lot of people are biting at Steve, so people want Steve on their network.
Right.
So it's like, okay, listen, I demand more. Pay me more.
Well, that's not the case because remember they're trying to shop for another network to find him on, and they're not getting any bites, which
Right.
is what's leading them now to take it to a digital platform, which I think ultimately is
When you
going to
say
work
digital
out.
platform, like Facebook?
I'm not. Well, everything isn't Facebook, but
Right.
he may monetize his YouTube in a more serious way,
Oh,
or he might use his website as the creation page,
right.
and put up all of his content from there and just
Probably YouTube.
issue webisodes.
Right.
And everything is monetized now on YouTube once you
Right.
do it right. And I think that he's somebody that's big enough that will get that backative.
Listen, he's going to do
ads.
well
He's-
regardless.
He's a mogul in his right in the
He's
media
gonna-
world,
he's
you
gonna
know.
do well. But going a tad about in history as it relates to his ex-wife, Mary.
Marjorie.
No, Marjorie's
that's
Marjorie's
the
who he,
ex-wife.
right. Marjorie's who he's married to now.
Something to note is that Steve is getting married and divorced regular. So to have the rumors about him being divorced from Marjorie was not that far-fetched, Steve.
Right.
All the irritated, you irritated. You know you was dropped on quick.
So people believe that, a mixture of the challenges he's facing with his ex-wife Mary, along with, these challenges now with Marjorie's.
Jim. That's his name, right?
Jim, that's his name?
I think so.
But
yeah.
the Kingpins.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so rare, like, how exes from both parties are creating all this.
Exes unite and attack.
You know what? Suppose these
Sounds
exes
legit.
cahooting together or something.
Sounds legit. Happens all over the world.
That's like a football team, the way how you said it, though. Exes united.
Yeah, exes unite and attack. They do it everywhere in the world. I'm telling you. But just to end on the Steve Harvey note, I just thought it was really funny. I was reading some comments under, people that were, posting the article, and they were like, so what about Monique, Steve? Was Monique
good.
right? About, because remember they had that big showdown on his show.
Yes, because actually I saw a comment on Instagram and this silly she was like, ha 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 ha. Didn't Monique said the same thing?
Yeah.
Whereas Monique was, she was basically fighting to get more.
Yeah, what she thought she deserved.
For her talent.
Yeah.
Right? So here's a situation now. Steve is biting for more and NBC is like, oh no.
Yeah. And you pretty much
go
get
that
him
way. So it's like
blacklisted for it.
Karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I told you so. I think Monique is definitely smiling about
I
this.
think she's smiling, yeah.
Somewhere, where the money can't see. She's
Steve. I told you, Steve.
Yeah. I don't know if she can sound like that, but
I know she's laughing. She is rolling up wherever she is.
An evil laugh.
Because it was so rarely. She was actually on the Steve Harvey show, and she was, sharing her grievances, etc. So we will see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Steve, you got a trying time, but you're resourceful. We're gonna take a quick break, guys. You're listening to the What's Up Radio Show. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.